In the glittering heart of New York City's television empire, where the skyline pierces the clouds like ambitious dreams, the studios of the Kelly Clarkson show hummed with the kind of electric anticipation that only a live broadcast can muster. It was a crisp autumn morning in late October 2025, the leaves outside 30 Rockefeller Plaza turning shades of amber and crimson, mirroring the warm glow of the studio lights that bathed everything in a deceptive sheen of perfection. Kelly Clarkson, the powerhouse vocalist turned daytime diva, sat poised in her signature velvet armchair, her blonde waves cascading just so, a subtle shimmer of highlighter catching the camera's eye as she adjusted the lapel of her emerald green blazer. At 43, she was more than a host. She was a beacon, a survivor of divorces, reinventions, and the relentless churn of fame, who had built her show into a sanctuary for raw, unfiltered conversations. Today, though, the air felt thicker, charged with the unspoken undercurrents that often lurk beneath the surface of celebrity chit-chat. Her guest was none other than Jenna Hager, the effervescent co-host of NBC's Today Show 4th Hour, daughter of a former president, and a woman whose bubbly persona masked a steely resolve forged in the fires of political scrutiny and public life. Jenna arrived with her trademark grin, a cascade of honey blonde hair framing a face that radiated Texas charm, dressed in a tailored navy sheath that hugged her frame like a second skin, paired with pearl earrings that whispered of old money and new ambitions. The two women had crossed paths before, impromptu duets, shared laughs over queso recipes, but this interview promised something deeper, a dive into the trenches of womanhood, motherhood, and the impossible juggle of career and family in an era that demanded everything and forgave nothing. As the cameras rolled, the opening fanfare swelled, a upbeat medley of Kelly's hits blending seamlessly into the applause of the studio audience, a diverse crowd of fans clutching branded mugs and squealing with delight. Kelly leaned forward, her blue eyes sparkling with genuine warmth, and launched into the segment with her usual flair. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my dear friend, the one, the only, Jenna Hager." The applause erupted like fireworks, Jenna bounding onto the set with a wave that sent ripples through the crowd, her heels clicking against the polished floor as she enveloped Kelly in a hug that lingered just a beat too long, the kind of embrace that spoke of shared secrets and late-night texts. They settled into their seats, the low table between them adorned with a vase of fresh peonies and 2 steaming mugs of herbal tea, steam curling lazily upward like unspoken questions. Kelly kicked things off lightly, as she always did, steering the conversation toward Jenna's latest book, a memoir titled, Roots and Wings, Navigating Legacy in a Changing World, which had climbed the New York Times bestseller list faster than a viral TikTok. "Jenna, this book, phew, it hit me right in the feels. You're talking about growing up in the White House, but also about being a mom now, raising your kids in this crazy media circus. How do you even balance that?" Kelly's voice was honeyed, inviting, her Texas drawl wrapping around the words like a comforting blanket. Jenna laughed, a light, tinkling sound that filled the studio, crossing her legs and tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "Oh, Kelly, if I had the answer, I'd bottle it and sell it on QVC. You know all about this, your show's a juggernaut, you're a mom of 2, and you're out there slaying with those Kellyoke performances every day. We're both in the trenches, right? But honestly, legacy is this double-edged sword. My dad, former President Bush, he always said, Jenna, family first, always. And I cling to that like a lifeline." Her eyes softened, a flicker of vulnerability breaking through the polish, as she sipped her tea, the camera zooming in to capture the steam's dance. The audience nodded along, a sea of empathetic faces, many of them working moms themselves, drawn to the show for these very moments of real talk. Kelly nodded vigorously, her own experiences bubbling up, her messy divorce from Brandon Blackstock still a fresh scar, the way she'd relocated her entire show from LA to New York for a fresh start, all while shielding her kids, River and Remington, from the paparazzi's glare. "Girl, preach. I mean, after my split, I was like, okay, universe, you threw me a curveball, now what? But promoting women who make it work, that's my jam. Tell me more about that chapter on working moms, the one where you call out the mom guilt epidemic." Here, the conversation took its first tentative step toward the precipice. Jenna's expression shifted, her smile tightening ever so slightly, like a rubber band stretched to its limit. She set her mug down with a soft clink, leaning in as if sharing a conspiracy. "Absolutely. Mom guilt is real, Kelly. It's this invisible weight that society slaps on us the second we clock back into work. But here's the thing. I believe in choices. For me, scaling back on today during my pregnancies wasn't a sacrifice, it was a statement. Family over fame, every time. And I think more women should feel empowered to do that, to step away if it means being present for the bedtime stories and soccer games. The words hung in the air, innocuous on the surface, but laced with an undercurrent that prickled at Kelly's skin. The audience murmured in agreement, a few claps rippling through, but Kelly's brow furrowed just a touch, her fingers drumming lightly on the armrest. She was no stranger to the debate. Her own career had exploded post-American Idol, motherhood coming later, amid tours and albums that demanded her soul. Stepping away, it wasn't a luxury she'd ever afforded, or wanted. I hear you, Jenna, I do. But stepping away, isn't that a privilege not everyone has? I mean, for so many women out there, work isn't optional, it's survival. Bills, daycare, the whole grind. Glorifying, opting out, can feel like it's shaming the ones who can't. Her tone was gentle, probing, but there was steel beneath it, the kind honed from years of belting anthems about resilience. The studio lights seemed to brighten, casting long shadows that danced across the exposed brick walls, as if the room itself sensed the shift. Jenna's cheeks flushed a delicate pink, her eyes widening in surprise. Not offense, not yet, but the jolt of an unexpected counterpunch. She straightened, her voice pitching up with that polished poise drilled into her from years of diplomatic dinners. Shaming. Oh, honey, that's not it at all. I'm just saying we need more options, policies, support systems, so women aren't forced into these all-or-nothing traps. Look at my life. I had help, sure, but I chose presence over promotion. And you're superwoman, but even you admit those late nights away from the kids eat at you. It was a deflection wrapped in flattery, but Kelly wasn't buying the ribbon. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to that intimate register she reserved for Kellyoke ballads, raw and unyielding. Presence is everything, Jenna, don't get me wrong. My babies are my world. But I built this empire for them, too. Telling women to step away when the system's rigged against them. It rings hollow. It's like saying, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps while ignoring the fact that some folks don't even have boots. The audience gasped softly, a collective intake of breath, phones already slipping out to capture the moment. Whispers rippled. Did she just go there? Jenna looked shook.